The Dubai of 2040 is completely different from what you see now. It's a city that you can find all the necessities of life within 15 minutes, from schools, from hospitals, from community, from services, from public transport within 15 minutes.
In a city where skylines rise and futures are forged, one institution is redefining what urban development can achieve: the Dubai Land Department, driving innovation, shaping policy, and setting global benchmarks.
We are in 2025 right now. Where do we stand?
His Highness always say, the vision that I have for Dubai is bigger and bigger on a daily basis.
This is the force behind Dubai's real estate evolution.
Real estate is one of the most important sectors in the economy. That's why we always think of how do we disrupt this sector with technology? How do we make customer journey better, easier? And that's why we have tokenization, which is built on blockchain. We're not talking about technology for the sake of technology. We're building an ecosystem where
Together, they're not just building a city, they're crafting a global model.
What are the top mistakes you see a developer doing?
this is not one-time game. Word of mouth is there. People who invested in your first project will come to your second and third. What we want from developers is to be long-term and thinking. Imagine that this tower built by this developer, the owner of this development company owns a unit there. He lives there.
The greatest city of the future is already being built. And what's coming next will redefine everything you thought we knew about Dubai. This is Beyond Luxury by Arista Properties.
Hello, my name is Shrishti, and welcome to Beyond Luxury by Arista Properties. Today, we are going to talk to Dr. Burai, a prominent name in Dubai real estate market. Dr. Burai is known for his visionary leadership and his advocacy of sustainable development in Dubai real estate market. He currently serves as a head of policies and innovation at Dubai Land Department. He also was the former CEO of Dubai Real Estate Institute, looking after the education of 80,000 real estate professionals in the region. Dr. Burai also holds a presidency in FIAPCI, which is an international organization connecting real estate professionals worldwide. He spearheaded the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals and also launched the region's first real estate think tank. If you want to know what Dubai will look like in 2040, keep listening to this podcast. To begin with, I want to talk about Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed bin Rashid Al Maktoum, he launched the Dubai 2040 Urban Master Plan, saying that Dubai is going to be the most livable city in the world. We are in 2025 right now. Where do we stand as per that vision?
We're all lucky to be part of Dubai's success. And we always say government, private sector, community, we're all part of the success story of Dubai. This story is built on a vision, and this vision is ruler of Dubai's vision. He wants Dubai to be number one. And this is we call it agenda number one. UAE is all about competitiveness. UAE is all about being number one. And His Highness always say, the vision that I have for Dubai is bigger and bigger on a daily basis. He was asked how much you achieved with your vision. He says 10%. A few years later, he was asked the same question and he said 6%. So this gives you like an indication that this city is built on a dream. And that's why 2040 was launched in the mid of COVID. So other countries were saying, how do we survive COVID? How do we vaccinate more people? And His Highness went out and he said, look, I'm building the most livable city on earth here in Dubai. And what's so unique about this plan is that we focus on sustainability, resilience, happiness, and we build that all in design. And we've seen all these projects. We want to build a 20-minute city. This is at the heart of this plan. We want to make sure that all communities in Dubai are livable, have all the community infrastructure, focus on quality of life, not too far from public transport, the walkability. Dubai walked 3,200 kilometers of corridors for people to walk. And with that, also the health factor. At the same time, this is not only social agenda, it also has the economic part. And that's why what feeds into this plan is our economic and social agenda day 33, which says we want Dubai to be one of top cities on earth for economy, but also for people to live, work, and entertain. So all these concepts will make a great city, but put on the top of that, the safety, the security.
We all keep talking about Dubai is the safest.
Exactly. So all these are important factors. We're not here in selling real estate business, believe me. We're here in building a city. And this city will attract people. And the people that we attract are talents. The people that we attract are people who have dreams. And where on earth a great place like Dubai to make sure that your dream is fulfilled. We launched also at the time of COVID the Golden Visa, the 10 years residency. And that's a message that people should be here for long term.
Not just as tourists.
Not as tourists, not as work employment 2 years and they leave. No, come make Dubai your home. And all the projects that you see here in Dubai translate into that vision. But also what's so unique in terms of opportunities is the plan aims at doubling our population. So we want to double our population. So with that means we need more buildings. We need more infrastructure. With that comes opportunities. With that comes dreams. And that's why you see hundreds of developers here in Dubai. Everyone comes with a concept, with a dream. And we've seen your project, Arista, which is one of the great projects in terms of looking at wellness, well-being, happiness, sustainability in one location. So competition is great because it raises quality of the final product. So what we see today, focus on quality of life. And this is the heart of the Master Plan 2040. More walkable, more sustainable, more affordable.
Everybody loves Dubai. Everybody believes in the vision of Dubai, what is being done now. And we all can see it happening. Everybody is choosing Dubai not just because of safety, but also it offers a great lifestyle. Everything is nearby. You feel safe. Even though the temperature is used to be a concern, we have seen so many changes the government is making to ensure that the reason sustainability is coming into the picture is that you have better climatic conditions. I remember you said something like it's a 20-minute walking city. Why you think that Dubai is a 20-minute city?
Well, this is the plan to be a 20-minute city. So the concept actually, it originated from Europe and it's 15-minute city. 15-minute city means that when you develop or when you design and plan your city, you need to make sure that people are not more than 15 minutes far from schools, from hospitals, from community, from services, from public transport. So it's a city that you can find all the necessities of life within 15 minutes. I don't need to drive half an hour to get my kids to school. I don't need to drive 45 minutes to reach a hospital. So this idea in Dubai, we said we want to make a 20 city. So this means all communities in Dubai, they will have schools, hospitals, parks, malls, all these life necessities within 20 minutes walk or bike or public transport. So this is, again, at the heart of the sustainability concept. If you want to be sustainable, you need to build compact city. You need to build cities where multiple uses are in the same location. So people don't need to commute long distances. If you don't commute long distances, this means reliance on cars will be less. Reliance on cars is less. This is more sustainable.
That's a great point. Since we're talking about this 20-minute concept, right, and we have seen that in Expo particularly, this was spoken about a lot.
Yes.
Apart from that, what are the other areas where you see this being implemented in Dubai right now? Let's say top 3 areas, which would be the next 20-minute walking communities in Dubai?
I think the old part of Dubai is one, definitely, and that's where the tourists want to walk around and make sure that it's walkable. And actually, such places really have more walkability features. We're now integrating that into the design. So I think the old part of Dubai definitely has to be 20-minute city. That's will definitely help a lot with the tourism and attraction, but also the downtown. And when you talk about Burj Khalifa and City Walk, these areas as well. Plus, we're talking about Expo. Expo is a great place where commercial, residential, all these stuff are in one location, walkable, bikeable. This is how we want to build future cities. And a lot of people usually confuse sustainability with electric cars. They said, oh, if you have more electric cars, you're more sustainable. But what we say, no, if you rethink the concept of urban design, how do you make a city that makes car less used? A lot of people, when they used to go to Expo, they used to take public transport because they know driving and then parking and then walking will take time. So if we manage to make public transport more efficient, less costly, more convenient, usually public transport also is at the core of sustainability because if more people are using it, less people are using cars. And again, we're developing, we want double population. So there's always a limit to how much a car city can grow. You need to build all these infrastructure, public transport, of walkability. That's why Dubai Namshi or Walking, Dubai Walk is a great project that focuses not on walkability for sport and health reasons, but for connectivity and mobility. And also the project with Tesla and Elon Musk on how we make sure that we get around the issues of traffic. So all these are important.
How do you motivate people to choose this style of living. So how do we change this culture in which people adapt to this lifestyle more? Because everyone's become very comfortable.
Sheikh Hamdan is a great leader who's pushing for the Dubai Health Agenda, and you see the Fitness to 30 that's happening every year.
Yeah, in November, I think this happens, yes.
So there's a lot of what we see around that, but also recently the communities that Dubai also created part of the social agenda. So we're creating also clubs and communities where people who have certain passion will pursue that part of Dubai wider communities. So walkability for health reasons, something has been really promoted a lot in Dubai, and we'll see a lot of focus on that. But what we are talking about now, how walkability can help with the mobility. So for example, if you're living in Marina and your office in GLT, you need to be able to walk in a corridor, for example, maybe shaded one with air condition, and that makes you healthier. You don't need to park your car or look for a parking. And that's also part of creating a new culture of mobility. If I need to go from Burj Khalifa to City Walk, this should be also a walking corridor. If I want to walk from the old Dubai to City Walk, there should be something connecting. So we want to create that kind of culture. A lot of people, when they travel to Europe and other countries, they like walking. They walk a lot. I know all my friends, when we travel, we always say, let's walk.
That's why people prefer going to Europe, because you can walk. However, Dubai's climate is very different to Europe. So how would you enable walking corridors in a market like Dubai?
I think we have some cities and countries like Singapore, for example. It's hot, even more humid than Dubai. Still, people walk. Part of it is the connectivity. Your metro station is connected to the mall. Your building is connected to the second building, underground corridor, basement corridor, shaded areas, trees. So there's so many natural stuff you can do. Weather itself is not an excuse, because there's so many countries with weather who has done it. We need to really promote the culture of walking.
Since we're talking about building Dubai's future, this always comes to my mind, that what is Dubai doing to conserve its art and its heritage?
So we have an entity that deals with heritage and culture. And this is merged with the built environment, and we've seen a lot of projects. Definitely, culture is part of sustainability of the city. It's being implemented. We want to make sure that culture and city design are not separated.
Talking about Dubai's ecosystem and the way Dubai planning is done, we have a very strategic plan in place. We follow it every year. We analyze till what extent we have reached the plan. We say that Dubai is a startup city. What's your take on that?
What has been achieved in Dubai in 10 years may take 50 years in other cities and countries. And the recipe of Dubai is the leadership, but also the partnership between public and private entities. If you look at real estate, just real estate, because this is the industry we're interested in, you have maybe 3-4 master developers who are government, who have master communities, enable the infrastructure. Then you have hundreds of developers who come and believe in the vision of Dubai, help you co-building and co-designing a better city. But also what we don't overemphasize a lot is the non-physical infrastructure. It's not about roads. It's about the digital infrastructure. Non-physical infrastructure like laws, regulations, safety, ease of doing business. What Dubai has achieved in little time is something that will take more time in other cities and countries. And we always compete with the perfection. And His Highness says, I want to be number one, and I want my people to live a better life now, not in 1 year, not in 10 years. His Highness has really made sure that we have great leaders in the government. So each government entity has its leadership that believe in the same vision, that challenge itself on a daily basis, that always tries to make better version on a daily basis. So improvement, equality, competition, how we work with private sector, how do we work with community? Imagine a country or a city that has more than 200 nationalities. How do you unlock the value? There's so much value, so much talents, people, creative talents from all over the world. So this adds a lot to Dubai. So it's not something that 1 + 1 = 2, it's 1 + 1 = 11. This is the power of synergy that we have. I don't agree that when we say startup, if it's run like a startup, this means it's more efficient, more effective, has vision, it's fast. So yes, I agree. But Dubai is a global city. Dubai is on the top 20 cities when it comes to global attractiveness, quality of life, competitiveness, and so on.
The vision behind Dubai is very much like a startup because you have that fire to build it. We are not saying that we are an old city, or we are not saying that we are happy with what we have. In startup, we see this culture that we always want to do more. We always want to build more. And that's exactly Dubai is doing, that they want to build more.
And this is what His Highness says. In our race to quality, there is no ending line. So it's always work in progress. It's always, if we achieve this, next time
we're going to do more.
But again, this is not only the government, it's the government, the private sector, the community.
The way His Highness has the vision, everybody is embodying that vision at every level, and it reflects in the city. That's why Dubai is what it is, because everybody understands the vision, everybody is subconsciously following that dream, and they want to be a part of it. Everybody is so proud and so happy to be in Dubai.
People always ask me, what is Dubai all about? We say it's about Dubai dream. So everyone who has a dream, especially young Generation Z, a lot of surveys have been done. What's your first choice? And Dubai always comes at the top because Dubai is young. And that's why it attracts young people. Young in thinking, young in vision. It has energy, it's a youth, it's an active, it's a livable city. And that's why we see, even at the time of COVID, I used to see a lot of businesses moving to Dubai. And when I ask them, do you have any contracts here or clients? They say, you know what? No, we're running global. We're running our London office from Dubai. We're running our Europe from Dubai. So the quality of life attracted also quality people to Dubai.
So Dr. Burai, I've seen on your LinkedIn that you have mentioned that you are on a mission. And you have mentioned that you're building Dubai's PropTech ecosystem. So what are the top 5 things Dubai is doing in the PropTech game?
It's not me who's building that vision. We have a great leaders and group of companies and government entities who are helping us. Real estate is one of the most important sectors in the economy. And that's why we always think of how do we disrupt this sector with technology? How do we make customer journey better, easier? How do we make sure that data is available and the market is transparent? And that's why we look at the PropTech, which is the property technology sector, as enabler to make a look more value in the system. When the data is there, developers will make a better decision, investor will make a better decisions. And now with such a focus on technology, we have tokenization, which is built on blockchain. So now people with little money can own piece of Dubai. So this is the power. We're not talking about technology for the sake of technology. We're building an ecosystem where tech companies will come and help us build a better ecosystem, enable people to invest more, enable people to manage their properties. When you have 40% of your investors are non-residents, you need to provide them with technology so they can remotely manage their properties, get their rentals. We have a lot of global investors from 200 countries. Government is building an ecosystem. We provide companies with data. We provide companies with the right laws and regulation that supports their mission. We're working on a fund to fund technologies. So all these enablers will help us to build a better ecosystem when it comes to property technology.
Since we're talking about technology, right, we are saying that this is making the life easier. We are obviously using technology to also make predictions when it comes to trends. So I want to talk a bit about how are we leveraging AI in Dubai's real estate market?
AI in Dubai Land Department is used, for example, for valuation. So smart valuation. You don't need valuers to spend few days on valuing a property. This can be done instantly. Another case within land department is the smart rental index. So now buildings based on their classifications, you will have a rental index for each building of Dubai. Tokenization also using AI in many aspects of it. But also we see AI being used by private sector. We're using AI now to reduce energy consumption. People's major concern as investors is the service charge. 50% of that is utilities. So how do we make sure we use AI in reducing energy consumption and reducing water consumption? And that's why, and from this podcast, we always tell developers, please take technology with you to make your buildings more efficient, more effective, to give people a better building not to start with. Even on the life cycle of that building, they spend less money on maintaining that building, less utilities bills. So using AI, smart technologies, IoT, Internet of Things will help us manage and be more responsible when it comes to waste management, consumption of energy, and so on. So AI definitely will help also real estate brokers. And we see a lot of now applications where brokers use to reduce the time of search, to reduce the time of looking for leads. So AI is replacing a lot of aspects of what brokers used to do.
You suggest developers to use technology to make better buildings, which is great. We all, as an end user, we would love to see, I would love to see more buildings who are more sustainable. And I believe in the recent survey, about 60% of the people mentioned that they would choose to live in a building or a property which is sustainable rather than a non-sustainable one. How an end user can identify that a developer or a development is above standard when it comes to sustainability?
See, there is a system for sustainability. Again, just because for the sake of this discussion, a lot of people think sustainability is always about green and energy and environment. Yes, this is aspect of it, but also the economic sustainability and the social sustainability. So looking at property that gives you good return, a property that reduces energy consumption, so you make more return. This is all part of sustainability, but also living in a community that has a lot of infrastructure for people to communicate, to socialize. This is part of it. With technology nowadays, with reviews, we see a lot of people commenting on these properties, saying we're living in this place, it has all these benefits. So I think what we want to see, because Dubai has its own SAFAT system for sustainability, so it can be platinum, it can be gold, or it can be the minimum, I think, is silver. So all these buildings have rating by Dubai municipality. So I think maybe being more transparent about it in the portals like Property Finder and Bayut and the Basel, when people go and search for property, they always say, I want a property that has the following.
So every building or every development in Dubai has a sustainable rating.
It has. Sheikh Mohammed in 2008 issued a decree, said all buildings in Dubai have to be green, and the minimum accepted is the silver. But you can be gold, you can be platinum. Buildings in Marina next to each other, one is service charge 25, one is 15.
Why?
Maybe 30, 40% of that is the utilities, the difference. And the rest may be facilities and infrastructure and so on. It's important for the buyers or for the tenants or the end users to know what are the features beyond the price and rent. The community, the infrastructure, the traffic, the energy consumption. What is the bill that we have on a monthly? If I'm a tenant, I have a budget. I don't want to spend more than 2,000 dirham, for example, on this and that. This is why Dubai is now the most transparent in the Middle East as a real estate market. It jumped from 38 to 28. And the plan is to reach one of the top, because we want to make sure transparency, we empower investors and tenants and developers and all the players with the right data that they can make a better decisions.
So since you're talking about, decision making particularly, that these factors help in a buyer to make better decisions, and there are so many developers, what are the top mistakes you see a developer doing?
Well, let me first say that developers of today are more mature than what we used to see at the past. So they understand the market well. They customize the product to the right customers. So it's not just build and sell. It's not off-plan model of that's it. No, they think a lot when they design the spaces, what's the target market. So any developer who doesn't look at the target market and who is this building built for, this is a mistake. Another mistake that we may see also, not thinking of sustainability in the design stage. They build the building, then they say, oh, how do we retrofit? How do we make it more energy efficient? No, you should think of sustainability, community, the features. Build a building that you want to live in. And this is what I see a lot of people and developers. I always tell them, we will reach the success point as developers when we build buildings that we as developers live in. So imagine that this tower built by this developer, the owner of this development company owns a unit there. He lives there. Employees of that company also bought there. Because this is how we attract people to real estate. We don't want to build buildings to finish fast without paying attention to the energy consumption, to the quality of building, to the finishings, and so on. Another issue that we may also see with developers is that they may focus too much on international markets, which is good. I want to attract FDI, I want to attract international investors. But in Dubai, we have people, residents who have stable income, job, secure job, and we still did not provide good products for them. A lot of developers are focusing on selling to international investors who have cash upfront. But for people who can afford mortgage, for people who have a job, I have, for example, a lot of people who work in Dubai, maybe 20, 30,000 dirham or maybe 10,000 dirham. We need to have the right product for them. Rent to own, for example, this is something we'd love to see, where people can build equity till they finally own their home. We need to think about that. We need to think about the affordable and medium class. We need to make sure that we target them. Everyone now is developing luxury. And again, definition of luxury can differ, but that market we did not cater to from a lot of developers is something we would love to see more of it.
So is Dubai doing anything about affordable living?
Yes, we see a lot of government initiatives. A lot of recently, I think 4 lands were allocated for affordable housing by the government. I see government support developers to build more affordable. But at the end of the day, this is a free market. We can control rent. That's why we have the rental index. But the prices, unfortunately, this is something, it's a free market, so it should go there. But we will see more and more of focus on affordability as developers compete with each other.
We hear luxury a lot in Dubai market. In fact, I honestly haven't heard about affordable homes in Dubai yet. It's not as a very popular concept. People look for it, so there is a demand. However, every second project is a luxury project in Dubai. Do you believe there is supply-demand gap in the luxury segment? Are the demands of a high net worth individual is being met in Dubai? Or there is still a gap?
No, I think luxury is demanded by international investors. And that's why you see all these luxury projects sell in no time, sell very fast. Because we have a lot of investors and business people who are coming to Dubai to live. And that's why such product is in demand. And actually there is more and more demand for that. But at the same time, I'm saying that developers also need to look at certain location close from metro, not in the central areas, but a little bit far, to focus on affordable products. And by affordable products, maybe we talk here about financing and funding. So before, if you remember, we used to have a lot of post payment, 5 years, 7 years. We don't hear about it anymore. But the questions that a lot of people have now is, if I don't buy, I rent. But rental went up also by a big percentage. So a lot of people now, they think that, or it should be the case, and this is what I always advocate, that owning home is a better decision for anyone who's staying in Dubai more than 4 years.
I think with the rents going up, everybody is asking this question that instead of paying so much rent, why not own a property? And that's why we see so many developers coming up with flexible payment plans. I want to know, what are your views on purchasing a villa versus purchasing an apartment?
Depends on who's buying and why they're buying. But in general, if you are an investor who's looking for a return, then villas still in shortage. So there is a lot of demand for villas. But some people prefer to be in apartments. But in general, I think villas are better investment options for long-term investors than apartments. You also pay less service charge, usually 3-4 dirhams per square foot, as opposed to 20 or 25 dirhams per square foot in apartments. You own the land, it's your land, regardless of the construction status. So I think villas have a lot of features, and that's why lands for villas now in Dubai is very rare, and good developers are competing for that. But also what happened post-COVID or during COVID, a lot of people started looking for villas. Friends in search engines were telling us, people go into search engine and say, I want a bigger house. I want a house with a balcony. I want a greenery. I want a villa. I want it to be close to hospitals, schools. So I think COVID was really a blessing in moving people to think of, villas and townhouses. And that's why the most desired products now are townhouses and villas. However, people should not only buy villas, they should diversify, because now villas are more expensive. And if you want to buy in central locations, it's much more expensive than any time before. So the only option is to go far.
What are the top areas for villas when people are looking in Dubai?
Well, there's so many areas. I don't want to recommend one, but wherever you go in Dubai, you will find a great area. So Nad Sheba is a very hot area, and we've seen a lot of successful villas projects there and close to the city. Jabal Ali now, Palm is something that's coming up. We see also Expo. I see a lot of also villas that focuses on sustainability. So I think all these areas, but I think maybe Nad Shiba is one of the most demanded villas sites. Every part of Dubai has its unique selling points. If you're a short term, long term, you're an end user, you're an investor, what's your appetite, what's your exit strategy? And I always say not a single developer lost in Dubai if they invested in the right time and exited at the right time. And that's why Dubai always reward people who trust it in real estate. So even if you buy at higher price, you still can make money. Rental yield is one of the best internationally, and exiting at the right time with the right price will make sure that you have capital appreciation at the same time. So what we call for smart investors who are not emotionally driven, who are not like buy, sell, no, who think so much. They know every person is different. I'm different from you. I have different time horizon. I have different focus, different budget. Maybe I want to make sure that in 5 or 10 years, I want to have enough money to raise my kids, school, education, whatever. Other people know they're retiring, so their requirements is different. Someone wants to be close to water. No, someone wants to be close to the city. Every single plot is different. And that's why we always say real estate is all about location, right? So each location is special. Even with the same building, higher floor, different view, it's different.
What a developer can do to distinguish itself in such a saturated market?
Be unique and understand what customers want. Pay attention to details. It's not a box you're building. You are building a home for people that they will raise their kids. So I think paying attention to details and what their customer market is and delivering a product on time with a quality promise so people come back to you. This is not one-time game. This is a long-term. And you need to make sure that word of mouth is there. And people who invested in your first project will come to your second and third. What we want from developers is to be long-term and thinking, even if they have to reduce their profit margin and provide better finishing, better systems, and long-term buildings. This is what kind of developers we want to see.
As a buyer, you see so many developers. Is there a rating system or a mechanism a buyer can use to identify the quality of the developer?
Not one that's straightforward. However, if you go to Dubai Rest, you can look at all developers' projects and see how many projects they have, how much they built, how much money. It's always good to look at previous examples. If you want to buy from developer A, go and see their product that they developed. See the quality. See what people say about that project. So I think a lot of feasibility has to be done by the customer themselves.
What advice would you give to the developers in using technology or AI in their project or showcasing their project?
A lot of their products are off plan, so they need to give people the virtual reality, how they look at buildings, the views. So there are a lot of now AI and technologies in that regard. So people, a lot of international investors, they don't want to come and see the property, so they will see how it looks like. But also using AI in reaching leads and right market is also another important technology that they should use. They should also use definitely social media and branding. This is how you attract the Generation Z to buy real estate. You need to be on social media, and you need people to talk about the quality of your project there, and then really talk from heart about such products.
Is Generation Z buying property in Dubai?
The numbers we've seen recently is that there is almost a 50% increase in the youth buying in Dubai real estate market. So yes, Generation Z, they're buying in Dubai. And that's why developers also need to think. When they build, they're not only building for families, they're also building for young talents who are coming to Dubai. So we would love to see new modes of development.
Do you see more nuclear homes or smaller homes coming in Dubai targeting this audience?
Yeah, we see. We see co-living also coming, and would like to see more of it. So yes, we see, but not as maybe it should be. It should be more.
One more aspect we have seen is everybody's looking for a more functional home, which we call it as smart home. What developers are doing to build smart homes now?
Well, we see a few projects now in Dubai focusing on that element, functional property, smart technologies. You can remotely manage your building, your property. The lights are off, all the energy consumption devices are off once you leave. When you reach, everything it runs on its own. There are a lot of also focus from tech companies on providing IoT and things that gives you indication. For example, your fridge is going to run out of this product, so automatically order for you and so on. So we will see more and more of focus. So technology definitely should not be only a methodology of selling and buying and viewing, but within buildings, we need, as we have now generations who understand technology and who love technology, we need to make sure we build something for them.
Thank you so much, Dr. Burai. It was lovely chatting with you. Thank you for giving us so much time, and we would love to have you here again and do another podcast.
Thank you. Thank you so much.